There it goes. It says starting recording. Let everyone know they're being recorded. Oh, there it is. Hello. Welcome to the Conley Show, the very first episode. It's going to be a show where I interview people and basically about everything, whether it's business management, whether it's science topics, whether it's health and life. I kind of want to bring knowledgeable content to everyone out there listening. I don't know. Thomas, I have Thomas White here and his son Dan. They own Exact Nature. I'll let them kind of introduce what they run. It's an e-commerce business, right?
Yes, yes. Austin, thanks so much for having us on
Oh,
your
thank you
your
guys for joining. I forgot to mention that. I really, really do appreciate it.
yeah your maiden voyage here. So
Yeah.
we're so pleased to be a part of it. Um, yes, Dan and I co-founded and run a company called Exact Nature. Exact Nature, what we do is we provide CBD based products for people who are in addiction recovery or who want to stop abusing drugs and alcohol. Our products are CBD based, and then we take a very premium CBD derived from hemp and surround that CBD with all natural ingredients designed to help with the particular issues of that product. So our products, we help with curbing addictive cravings, with depression and anxiety, and helping people get better sleep.
So I was looking on your website, and one of the things I wanted to get into is you mentioned you're in active recovery. What
Yes,
exactly is active recovery?
active recovery means that I am actively recovering from my addictions. In my case, that was alcohol and really everything. I've got a an addictive personality, so um, I my downfall was alcohol because that's so readily available and it's
Yeah.
so socially accepted. So you can go anywhere and
Right.
drink, and it's kind of just part of what we do. Um, but but my but I'm addicted to all things that have addictive qualities, whether it be uh, cocaine or opioids or things like that. So alcohol was my primary vice, but only because that was most available to me.
Now, this might seem, I think I'm addicted to caffeine. I have three, four energy drinks throughout the day, and it's almost like it's very uplifting for me in the sense where caffeine puts me in a positive mood. Have you ever heard of something like that?
Yes, I have, and for instance, when I talk about CBD, sometimes people that haven't tried CBD wonder what it's like. Um, Sometimes I liken it to that. I'm not. I drink coffee about daily, uh, but I
Me too.
drink just 1 cup maybe a day or something. So I don't drink heavy amounts. But sometimes when I have not had coffee, and then when I have coffee, it just it just puts me in such a great mood. It gives me a certain level of energy. It brightens my mood, and it just life just gets better sometimes after that first cup of coffee, and
I saw
that's not unlike CBD.
a coffee boost product on your website.
Yeah,
Uh, what's that about?
that is the only product that we have that is straight CBD, and that's just a good way to get CBD into your system. CBD helps with lots of things. So in this case, it's a coffee additive meant to do what CBD does, and that is lighten your mood, give you a little more energy.
Yeah. Um, Tell me the story personally. Dan, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. Just making sure.
Yep.
Uh, what has helped you with active recovery? So you have these vices that you get addicted to. When you stop taking them or get out and start to kind of better yourself, is there something in place like CBD that people could use?
W- Yes, and
Almost.
I want Dan to answer this too. But for me, I've been in active recovery for 12 years. I went to rehab. It was a very good rehab in Florida, and I was in rehab for about 30 days. And I came back. After rehab, I relapsed 3 or 4 times in that first year, and uh, my wife at the time, we're divorced now, but she was understandably worried that I just got into rehab and here I was coming out and I was relapsing a few times. And what I told her at the time is um, that I understood her concern and she had every right to be concerned, but that I was learning to put together, string together 4 or 5 days and then 4 or 5 weeks and a couple months at a time without drinking. So even though I was relapsing, I was learning to live sober. And since then, I've had 12 years of constant sobriety. I haven't had a drink in coming up on 13 years now. So that helped. AA meetings were very helpful. NA meetings were very helpful. Um, CBD wasn't around at the time. Otherwise, I would have jumped at the opportunity to try CBD. And the way CBD works is our brain's circuitry gets out of whack. CBD helps get that circuitry back in alignment through something called the endocannabinoid system. It's a system of neurotransmitters that run from our brain throughout our body. So CBD, rather than having a big effect on that, what it does is it makes it whole again. It puts it back in equilibrium. So that's how CBD helps, and that does help with. We have found, and we have lots of evidence of it now through Exact Nature that it's helping people.
So I was talking to my dad this morning, and I was telling him about the interview, how I wanted to start this show up. And one of the things he said he was worried about him trying CBD is it would show up positive on a drug test, and he was worried about that. Otherwise, he said he would, same thing, jump at the opportunity. Is that something that can happen and something he should worry about?
Here's what I know about it. I could never guarantee that it would not happen. I don't. What shows up on the drug tests are THC. Exact Nature products, we have removed the THC, but it's an organic product, right? It grows, and THC gets in this hemp plant. We remove it all, and have it lab tested. So have removed up to 1,000th% of it, but there are trace elements of it. I mean, would never be enough to get you high. But first of all, CBD by law cannot have more than 0.3%
0.3. Right.
THC in it. So ours has less than 0.001. I think he would be safe with our products, but I would feel a little bit uneasy absolutely guaranteeing it.
Right.
And it's a shame that employers are that CBD cannot be taken by some people because of that fear of it showing up on a drug test. What does show up is the THC occasionally. So THC has 113 cannabinoids in it. One of those cannabinoids is called cannabinol. That's one of those 113 that helps, that has a sedatory effect, sedative. Uh, Occasionally, it has been shown to show up on drug tests as well, but as cannabinol. So I think he would be safe, but um, proceed with caution.
Right. And I think that's why he's completely avoided it overall.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, we're going to get into the whole business aspect. I was interested in that because me, myself, I like to consider myself an entrepreneur. I just don't have the startup cost capital. I've made some bad choices in the past where it's hurt my credit. So getting a loan is kind of not the way I could go. Um, but before I get into that, have you heard of Delta 8, I think it's called?
Yes.
Uh, is that CBD or is that something? else? Because I know it's like one molecule away from actual marijuana. Um, Go ahead and get into that a little bit.
It's much more associated with the marijuana side of things than the CBD side of things. Quickly, so cannabis, the cannabis plant, um, comes in two primary forms, and one is on the hemp side, one is on the marijuana side. So they're cousins of the cannabis plant. So they're related, but the way that cannabis is, it grows high in THC, very low in CBD. Cannabis, conversely, is very high in CBD, very low in THC. So cannabis suppliers and people like Exact Nature, we derive our CBD based products from hemp because we want the CBD. We're not concerned about the uh, we're not concerned about having large amounts of THC. In fact, we want small amounts of THC because that's not what offers the therapeutic effects of these products. It's the CBD.
Yeah. I saw you offer tinctures. What else do you offer as far because CBD isn't just the herb itself. It's integrated into a different amount of products. I mean, I've even seen
Yes.
CBD bubble bath. So like I've seen all kinds of different products claiming they have CBD in them. Is it really that simple to extract CBD, or I don't even know the process? Uh,
It
do you
it it
product?
it, it is. It's somewhat. I mean, you need facilities set up for this, and in our cases, the whole reason we got into this is because of the supplier we use, PNX Botanicals. They are located in Reno, Nevada. The people that own PNX were our next door neighbors in Reno, and through them, it prompted me to learn much more about CBD. And so, what you want to, so it's not real easy to extract it. You need special processes and very and certain types of machinery and so forth. Um, but it certainly can be done. And once you extract that CBD, yes, it can be added to many different products, flour and cookies and topical creams and things like that. And I think it can be effective in many of those products. But the one thing I would warn about is that all CBD is not created equally. So you want to get with a reputable supplier of CBD, somebody who you can trust. One way to look for that is to look on the website. For instance, all of our products, and we have 10 products. Each of our products, you can go online and you can look at something called a certificate of analysis, and that is certification by a third party laboratory that has tested your ingredients for the purity and makeup of that CBD. So it lists all of that. So look on a website and see if they have a certificate of analysis. If they do, then it's much more likely they're a reputable supplier that stands by their products, ready to show you what's in their products.
So you buy CBD in wholesale and then you have it manufactured to a way where you can create products. Is that how it works?
We buy it from a supplier, PNX Botanicals
Yeah.
in Reno, and they and the reason I went with them is because not only, first of all, they were the first CBD extractor and supplier in the state of Nevada. So they've been around about 10 years now,
Right.
and they're one of the most reputable suppliers in the industry. Um, so they buy the CBD. They work with their growers to get their CBD from their particular fields. They manufacture it and process it, and then offer that CBD. So then our products then take CBD and surround those products with other natural ingredients. So I knew that they would do that for us. So they are the grower and supplier of CBD to us, and so we then just we work with provide these special formulas, and then they bottle it for us. They put it in. We have capsules CBD oils or tinctures, as you say, and drink powders. And so they do all of that for us.
Oh, one more time for people who are listening. Exactnature.com. Is that it?
Yes, exactnature.com.
Exactnature.com.
Yeah, the derivation of that name is so 1212 the 12 steps of AA. So our products are aimed at people who are in addiction recovery or who want to stop abusing drugs and alcohol. The 12 steps of AA, the fifth step says we admitted to ourselves, to God, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. So it's the confession step of AA's 12 steps, but it lends itself nicely to a product that is natural, all natural, and aimed at people with addiction issues or addiction tendencies.
So it's you and your son who run this?
Yeah, Dan, I've been doing all the talking. Maybe Dan can chime in here.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Once again, both of you, thank you really for joining me. I have talking points I wanted to get to, but we covered so much that it covers a lot of those talking points. The business aspect of it, are you guys sitting on a bunch of inventory, or do you how does that work? If someone places an order on your site online, how is the order fulfilled? Is it fulfilled at like almost like an Amazon center? Just
Yeah, we have a shipping warehouse through a company, and once an order gets placed, we'll see it, and then it goes over to the warehouse, and it gets sent out from there.
because have
Yeah,
you heard of one of the business methods I've tried? I haven't done too great at it, but drop shipping. Almost where like I don't own the products, but I offer them online. And I made about like $400 doing it over the span of a couple of months. So nice little part-time gig, if you will. But I was just kind of curious about the whole like, are you sitting on endless amounts of CBD products?
No,
Um,
we ordered, we ordered product from PNX Botanicals. It's shipped to, exactly as Dan says, a warehouse in Chicago. We wanted somewhere that was centrally located, and then it's shipped out from there. So drop shipping, so that part of it where an order is placed and fulfilled by a third party logistics, 3PL it's called, third party logistics company, that is very similar to drop shipping. Drop shipping generally implies that somebody is taking a product, you buy it on Alibaba or something like that, you put your logo on it, ship it to a warehouse and fulfill it from there. And I think it's a very good way of doing things. I think a lot of people have been very successful doing it that way. So, but that's not what we do. We are
right.
very committed to a certain product and to a certain issue, this issue of helping curb addictive cravings. But the process logistically is very much the same. So what you did, Austin, was probably very similar. That it was you bought a product, you branded it with your own brand, and then it was fulfilled by a third party logistics, a 3PL drop shipping company. So
Yeah.
lots of similarities. The dissimilarity is in the product. We are very committed to this particular issue. We don't sell CBD for your tennis elbow or for your favorite pet. We sell CBD to help with addiction issues.
Right. That's what your market focuses on it. So the vision you had for your company was to create a product that basically, in the end, assisted people getting off drugs, getting off alcohol. Another botanical that I use personally, and a lot of people that I know use Kratom. Uh, do you know what Kratom is? We talked a little bit about it. Um, One of the things
Yes.
when I moved to Indiana, when I'm moving in with my father, Kratom is legal in Indiana. So I was just wondering, what else is there besides Kratom? Uh, is CBD a good replacement for that? Are CBD and Kratom okay to use together? Uh,
Um,
I can't speak on the mixture of the two per se. All I know of Kratom is that I've heard it being helped with people coming back from war with PTSD. I've heard
uh,
it with depression and anxiety and low doses. Um,
for people who don't know what kratom is, it's basically related to the coffee plant. It's a cousin of the coffee plant. I'm not even going to attempt to say the full name. It's like Mitogorangia speciosa, something like that, Latin. But like I said, there's three different strains of kratom: red, green, and white. In low amounts, it's used as a stimulant. In higher amounts, is used as a sedative. So use it in small amounts, no more than 6 grams at a time. And what that does, it's almost like an extra cup of coffee. One of the things I like to add to it is coffee. I don't actually add the kratom to the coffee, but I have a cup of coffee, and then you kind of take kratom like a shot. They sell it in capsules, but that's another product that gets sold at smoke shops. And one of the things I was wondering is, do you guys just run e-commerce? You just run online? Do you have products in store shelves? Or is that something that you thought about?
It's all on. It's all online.
It's all online.
As far as putting it in stores, not super likely. It's expensive to do.
Right, because you got to cut them in on it too. They got to make some money.
Yeah, essentially, and then I think the internet's taking over, so.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good way to do business.
We would like to distribute through treatment centers. In addition to online, we would like to. That is our efforts will soon turn to getting distribution through treatment centers. Treatment centers that are open to this type of approach to treatment. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a really good idea. I'm just going to go ahead and take a quick peek at my question sheet and see where we should leave off. When did you set up shop, actually? I missed that.
This past January 2021.
Yeah.
So we just celebrated 9 months.
Now, how is business going just after the pandemic? I mean, the pandemic's still going on. Is that affecting business at all? Talk a little bit about that, because business owners really suffered throughout the last year or so.
I think
yes.
COVID has. Sorry, go ahead, Dad.
Go ahead, please do.
I think COVID has actually
helped.
Yeah, helped. Which is good and bad. My girlfriend's actually a paralegal, and she never left her office during the pandemic. She stayed working and stuff. And the amount of divorces went up. The amount of domestic violence went up.
Yeah.
And drug addiction actually went up. I think I don't know the exact percentage. Like 30% probably or something. And so I think it's pushed a lot of people to look inward and help themselves out. And as far as business,
what's weird? One of the things that they talked about that decreased because everybody was staying home was the amount of people dying in car accidents went down. And I just thought that was an interesting statistic. Think about things like that, like all the people staying home. But then you have the counter effect of domestic violence, depression, suicides, drug addiction. Where do I want to go from here? So I heard, I don't know if I mentioned this, kratom can help with things like addiction.
Opioid addiction in particular.
Yes, because the science behind it is it attaches to the same receptors as opioids do. So you kind of get you don't get high from kratom. You get a good feeling overall, just like almost like a good energy drink. It really got you going. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about too is my dad was addicted to Ambien, the sleep medication. You talked a little bit about sleeping products. We talked about how it could possibly show up on a drug test. You can't guarantee that. So what else could he do? Because also one of the things your bio said was alternative health. So, and I am somebody who stays up all night, drinks a lot of energy drinks, sleeps up till noon. I really want to get my sleep schedule back in order. Um, Talk a little bit about how it's helped with people in sleep.
Yes. What CBD does, so we have three products. We have capsules, oils, and drink powders, and they're formulated a little bit differently. The capsules and the powders are formulated somewhat similarly in that they have, in addition to the CBD, they have valerian root, chamomile, and melatonin. All those things are known to help relax people and help them prepare them to sleep. And so essentially, that's how CBD works. It quiets your mind. It helps you relax and prepares you for better sleep so that you can drift off to sleep. Our CBD oil is manufactured a little bit differently in that we have cut back on the amount of CBD in it and increased the amount of one of the other cannabinoids called cannabinol, and that has a sedative effect. CBD in and of itself does not have a sedative effect, but cannabinol does. So people that, if the CBD capsules don't work for people, and I take CBD capsules and they work very well for me. I take them every night. Um,
For sleep?
for sleep, yes. I take it during the day too. I'm such a believer in CBD. I think it helps in so many ways. But at night, I take it to sleep. I take capsules an hour before I go to sleep.
What do you say to those people who say, well, why not just use marijuana with THC in it, especially in states that it's become legal? Is uh is that something that's come up where people say I would just rather get high and get the benefits of, and does it even give the same benefits if there's THC in there?
Well, in terms
Yeah,
of
go
recovery,
ahead.
we're not looking for another way to feel good
Correct.
psychologically.
Medicinal
So
effects.
we haven't personally run into anyone being like, hey, why not just open your own dispensary at this point? Well, because that's not another vice that we're trying to hand out. We're
That's a
trying
good point.
to be beneficial and help you have another tool in your toolbox during your journey of recovery, without needing to have a like have a joint and whatever to feel out of
Good.
your out of your right mind.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I've never heard anybody personally say that either, but I was just thinking in my head that would people say that? And I'm sure there's some that won't because you said it does help medicinally. It is something that I think I want to try. Now, does it give any sense of uplifting good feeling uh, if you take it? What exactly does kratom? What exactly does CBD make you feel like, if anything? Because I know there's no psychoactive ingredients, but is there a feeling that comes with ingesting CBD?
Definitely. I personally, I mean, the more I think, if you're very mindful and you're very in tune with your body, you'll notice it pretty quickly. But for somebody who, uh, I'll speak for myself because me, having done drugs for many years, I feel like things don't, even when I take ibuprofen or something, I it feel like I need to take a little bit more just because I've built up a tolerance to many chemicals over the years. Um, but then also on the flip side of that, I'm much of a person who's very in tune, and I can feel my anxiety coming on 30 minutes before I really feel anxious. Um, so as I take CBD, the first couple of times, I guess I noticed like little aches mostly go away. And then uh, with our products, with Detox or Serenity, some of the ingredients you help curb cravings, and that I've noticed because I too am a caffeine addict. I love my caffeine, and so I too will I'll take some Serenity, um, like usually 30 minutes before I would go grab my first energy drink or something like that. And then by the time that 30 minutes rolls around, the CBD gives me that equilibrium where I don't feel anxious to grab a caffeine drink or something like that.
Yeah. How, if you guys don't mind me asking, how is business? Is it something that you're like, oh shit, I should have started this sooner? It's doing good?
Well, certainly we should have started it sooner, just because it is going very well. We've had sales in every state at this point. We've had lots of repeat orders. We haven't, well, until last week, we've only had one person take us up on our money back guarantee. So it's helping people. We think we're onto something here, and people. Yes, it's nice to be successful. It's nice to sell a product and so forth. But what's really nice is because every time somebody buys an Exact Nature product, at some level, it's a matter of them raising their hand to say, yes, drugs and alcohol are becoming a problem for me, or are a problem for me. Let me take a step in the right direction, a positive step, to try to address that issue of drug and alcohol abuse. Yeah, we see. I get lots of emails from folks, so I have a pretty good relationship with a lot of our customers, and so I get a lot of very good positive customer feedback. We're still going. We've only been in business 9 months, and so month after month it grows and grows. Our best month by far was in July, and we've almost doubled what we did in July and August. So it's growing quickly.
Now, if you don't mind me,
and part of that too is people seeing our hearing from us and seeing what we're all about, and learning about Exact Nature on programs like the Conley Show. So thank you, Austin.
Yeah.
Right on.
Something new I'm starting. We'll see how it goes. How much did you guys invest into this? Not just, I mean, there's no dollar amount for the amount of labor, the amount of labor you put in. But how much does it take to just start a small business, even if it's not CBD? Because as from one person might say, you don't have that much to invest. But I'm just curious, like, how much does it cost to start something like this up?
Strategically, I think you can start off of $3,000. The more, the merrier, always.
Right.
Part of starting a small business is just being very strategic with your money, and very precise. And speaking from experience, trial and error, you'll run into people that will help you out, and then you'll run into people that are just kind of looking to make a buck off you. That's business 101. And so the sooner you can point out your errors, the faster you'll stand back up and keep pushing forward.
You guys on your website talked about active recovery. You guys seem pretty open about that. Did you want to go into anything about what it took to overcome addiction?
What? I talked about it earlier. I'll defer to Dan.
Yeah. So, I've been to a few rehabs. I'm going on 4 years sober.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. And despite always learning something in each of one of my rehab programs, I it never really. I went in first when I was like 13, 14 years old. Was my first program, and then being that young, I never really wanted to change. I felt like I was just too young to stop partying, and too young to stop, having fun and going out and being crazy. So about 6 years ago now, I lost my best friend to a overdose. And so that's what kind of snapped me into reality and showed me how fragile life is. And
I've been graduated from high school for almost 10 years now, 2013, and I moved back to my hometown, and it's crazy the amount of numbers you hear people who died in overdose that I knew, and it's mind-boggling sometimes. I read a statistic. I don't know how accurate it is, but there's about 90 overdoses a day in this country, fatal overdoses. Um, that's almost like an epidemic in itself.
Absolutely.
A lot of these opioid companies, I forget, I'm trying to think of the right one. It's like, I don't know the company.
Purdue
Uh,
Farm.
yes, thank you. Thank you. Purdue Pharma, they're being sued. They're probably going to have to pay billions of dollars. And this is a product that can really help people. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Unless there's anything you guys wanted to add. Anything you, Dan? Anything you wanted to add?
well, I just want to say thank you for having us. Glad to be part of the first episode and embarking on your YouTube channel. That's sweet. Yeah, just thank you.
No, you're welcome, and thank you guys. You've been listening to the Conley Show. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Austin. Best of luck.